Ali here at mindwavemeditation.com, and today we're going to talk about how nature, and specifically the lotus flower, can teach us to see beyond ourselves when we're in a state of suffering or low energy, low vibration. And we can see these amazing examples in nature, trees, the wind, all of these things, and we can break it down into a simple philosophy to look at them and be reminded how we can find rebirth and inner strength and be able to re-emerge into life itself, stronger, more powerful, more focused, and more awesome than before. If this interests you in any way, I'd recommend watching this video, and I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so let's talk about that lotus flower. We all know about the lotus flower. It's multi-symmetrical. We see it in Buddhist, Hindu, Egyptian literature. They absolutely love the lotus flower. They bang on about it all the time. And it's one of the most sacred flowers that we know of. So let's just take a look and see how it can relate to us, where we can use the power of just even seeing the symbol of a lotus flower and how that can make us enjoy life better and go through life a little bit easier and remind ourselves that nature is always teaching us. So what's the deal with the lotus flower? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. This flower submerges itself every night back into the muddy river water where its roots are in the mud. And then every day it miraculously reappears and opens out as it comes out of the water, all nice and clean. So just like that, it comes from the darkness into the light, and it doesn't mess around. It knows who it is, it knows what it can do, and just the very act of breaking through the water and coming from the darkness can show us that we too can come from a place of suffering. No matter how deep-rooted that suffering is, we can ultimately come up to the surface and bloom out into the light, where we can radiate love, joy, and beauty, and then others can see that and also enjoy that and tune inwards to themselves and think, you know what, maybe I could shine a bit more beauty, love, and radiate in all the rest in this life too. So just seeing what the actual plants do can teach us these deep lessons where we can in turn apply them to our life and realize, without going into a whole big thing, that when we simplify everything and we get out of the past and future thinking that we constantly get stuck in, and just remember these simple principles and truths and wisdoms from other cultures that always tune us back to the simple things of life. So they say that the flower connects to the universe. I think it's the Hindus that say this. Sounds about right. Don't quote me on that. But the flower connects to the universe, and that's the act of coming from the water, out of the water. And in that process, it opens out, it flowers, and it becomes a beautiful flower for all to see. And this is really the lesson, that no matter what, we can connect to the universe. No matter what your spiritual, religious, or atheistic beliefs are, we can connect to our environment. We can be reminded that we have the power to do this within. A simple connection to self, and remember that you've done this many times before. If you're struggling right now and you know this information isn't even going in, then just remember that there's been points in your life, I know that there's been points in your life where you have surmounted obstacles, you've overcome big things in your life, you have been victorious, even if it's on a small level. So all we ever have to really do is remember the mini wins we've had. No matter how big or small, remember the wins that you've had in life, because those wins, well, that's all you ever need to realize that you can do it. You can re-emerge. You can, no matter what is happening, you can find the right people to talk to, the community that you need, the help you need, or even just find it within yourself to believe it to be true. You can re-emerge no matter what is happening. You can, if you tune in and let go and realize your true infinite potential. So just like the lotus flower, we have the ability to rise from the mud, out of the darkness and into the light, and become something bigger than we were just even a second ago. And all that looks like is, if you're truly suffering in this moment, your mind is in the future, your mind is in the past. If you tune in through your breath, through your heart, or remembering that you've done this before, this is your freedom ticket. And then that very act, that very victorious moment, shows you that you can do this. You can become joy, peace, love, tranquility, all of the rest. A smile can form, and then others can see that too, and you can share that with others, and others can be inspired by you. This is the cycle. So no matter how tough life is, all we have to remember is, if other people can do it, then you can too. And if you remember that you've done it before, that's all the proof you ever need. So one thing we've just always got to remember is, our version of the lotus flower story is we have this inner light within us. I mean, if you really get technical and scientific, we are light photons. So this isn't like, we've got this inner light, man, and we just got to tune in. It's literally that. We do we do have this inner light. We are light. And if we tune in, then we can reconnect to that truth, that wisdom, that knowledge that we are underneath everything, light. And if you ever have a deep meditation, my friend, and you transcend the thoughts, the mind and the body, you realize that you are just vibration and energy. And yes, intellectually you might realize that, but you can feel it and experience it too. So that's a whole other thing, but give us a little hello down below and we can talk about that. But all we ever have to really think about is how to feed and cultivate that inner light. What does it need when you're at the lowest of the low, or even just struggling or suffering just in the moment? What do we need in the now? What do we need in the here and now to remind ourselves of the lotus flower, this story, this re-emergence and this strength that we innately have within us? How do we tap into that? Well, there's the breath. It's always working constantly, and all we ever have to do is relax the shoulders. Now, obviously that doesn't solve all your problems, but if you do this constantly throughout your day and reconnect to this breath, just tune in. When you do this, that very act, you tap out of the past and the future. And the heart, tune into the heart and remember all the loving memories and all the wins that you've had. And then, of course, seek out for help. Is there a community of like-minded people, a Facebook group called Be Your Own Guru maybe, where like-minded people are in there? That's my Facebook group, by the way. Get connected, where we share all this kind of stuff, and everyone's got each other's backs, and you can feel free to speak and say what you feel. Or reach out and get help. Look for someone that you resonate with, that can help you, because doing it alone sometimes just isn't possible. But there's plenty of people out there that can and will help you if you just seek that help and push a bit further than you are currently doing if you're not. So take this on, get some lotus flowers, draw some lotus flowers, be reminded of the power of the lotus flower, and keep breathing, keep smiling, keep working on yourself, keep being awesome, keep commenting down below, and keep saying hello, and keep coming back to these videos, and have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon.